Okay, let me show you what we are going to do in this tutorial. We are going to create full responsive web page. Let me show you. And this is a design. So we are going to prepare the assets. We are going to optimize them. We are going to prepare the content. We are going to customize the CSS, so it's scalable and reusable. We are going to create a custom configuration as well, and we are going to finish a website in less than 2 hours. Keep in mind that I'm going to check occasionally the documentation, and if you speed up and learn the basics, you can cut the time in literally 1 hour to create the entire responsive web page. So we are going to learn how to fix the things on the mobile as well, and that's it. Bring the popcorns and start enjoying the show. Okay, before we start with developing, let's create the assets. And what I done here, I created 5 same artboards, so I can place this artwork. And also what we have here is we have a logo, and I'm going to explain you when to use the SVG and when to use the PNG as well, because in this case what you can see, we have so many small vectors, and if you export this one, for example, in the SVG, let me show you. We have let's create one more, and this one is going to be SVG, and we can use the PNG double size as well for the retina. Let's export into assets. Let me open this one a little, and what you can see here, that the PNG is 27 kilobytes and the SVG is 279. And if we use the open width, and then I usually use the ImageOptim to optimize it as well, let's see what's going to happen. So this one is going to drop below 20, and this is still 170. So you can always test. Yeah, this is 20, and this is so much bigger, and we can get away with just making it double the size for retina, and we are good to go. But for smaller like logo or these icons, it's always good to use the SVG, and this one I'm going to export with the background because it's just easier, so we don't need to create extra div because we have only 4 icons of those. So let's this is SVG. Perfect. Those are the logo types. We can do them as a SVG because there is not too much elements inside. The logo is done. We can do this one a little later. We need this one. This is perfect as a SVG. And we need this grid as well. This is a dots grid. SVG is just fine with this one. Perfect. And always after you export everything, we can remove this SVG. And sorry, I forgot. Yeah, let's PNG double size all those icons. Export. Perfect. Let's see if we have anything else. This is a dots. These dots we can just use the filter, and we can make them white. so we don't need to use or export and then upload twice. Okay, after you do this, ImageOptim, and you can see how much space we are saving right away. It's like 50, 60, this is 40, so it's important to do it before the upload. Since we have the assets as SVG, we need to install some of the SVG plugins to allow the upload to media library, because WordPress media library does not support the SVG by the default. I prefer this one. It's quite easy to use, it's simple, and also it has some additional options. For example, if we enable the advanced mode, there is an option to sanitize, minify. Then there is also option to force inline SVG, and this is really good if you want to reuse the SVG, and for example you have some icons but you need to have them in several colors, so you can easily manipulate by recoloring with just CSS. So that's a huge save of space. Okay, we are going to disable this one for now. Open the media library. Let's just drag and drop all of them, and we are ready to go. We can now open the configuration, and let's see. You can watch the previous tutorials to understand the configuration, and I just polished a little because I like to have those comments where I can see when something is ending. For example, this is ending the screens, this is end of the font family, this is end of the colors, and it's just easier to track it. I move the font family and the colors to extend, so we don't overwrite default as well. And beside brand color, I added the action color, and that's this one. And also I added just one shade, because as you can see we only have one shade of this one. Perfect. And also here is the fluid typography as well. I set that in a previous video, so you can just go and check it out. Then for the global CSS, I added the couple of things just to get us started, and that's container. I added the width of 90%. I prefer that one because on the mobile you don't need to think that it's going to touch the edges, and it's going to be responsive and scalable for the all mobile devices. And then for the header and footer, I applied the full width, and also for the sections beside the full width, I applied the padding of 10 on the top and the bottom, on the medium 16 and on the large 20. And I'm using the PY because that's the helper to fetch or to give you the top and the bottom. So you don't need to write padding top 10, padding bottom 10, then medium padding top 16, and then padding bottom 16, etc. So it's going to save you some writing there as well. Before I jump into Oxygen, I actually like to play with the Tailwind, because I can easily just mock up the layout. So what we have here, this is a header, and then we have halves, and inside that it's a half again, and then this is a half, and this is a halves inside the half, and this is actually 1/4, 1, 3, half. So let's just do it like this. What I usually like to do is I do apply, and then border blue, I add, and then some padding, and you will see right away why. So what we have here is a header, and then it's a div. It is here like this, container, and then we have div. Sorry, here we don't have it. It's in a section. So it's a section, and then this is a container div, and let's just duplicate the div. And what we can see right away that we missed the container needs to be centered. So let's just jump to the container and add the margin auto, and you can see right away that it's fixed. But also what we need to do here is we need a grid, and then grid to column. Let's check. It stays on the mobile as well, and that's not good. We need, because Tailwind is mobile first, we can skip then the mobile, and we can do it on medium like this. So what you can see, it's one below another, and then on a bigger resolution it's going to be one next to another. Let's jump to the design and check our wireframe that we've done in the previous tutorial, and we can see that we have the sections, then the container, and then one half that is repeating a lot. So let's just mock up the columns, and what we can do is we can call it column 1, 2, and we can do the apply grid, and then grid column 2, or actually let's we need to add after medium. So if we do it like this, replace this one, we will see that if we shrink it down to mobile, it's going to be one below another and then one next to each other. So we are going to speed up a lot with this one, and then we can reuse it later on. So if you go back to design, we also have the 1/3 and 1/4, and we can do the same for those ones, or we can even do it like this. So on the mobile it's going to take 2, and then it's going to be 4 on the bigger one. Let's just test that one, and this is 3, and let's test the 4s as well. So yeah, it's one more, and yes, that's actually it. So if we do it like this, it's perfect. We have halves, we have 1/3, and then we have 1/4. And if we go to the mobile, it's half. So then we will have 2. Let's now start playing with the content. So we can start populating it. Let's check. This is H1. Let me see which one is this. It's hard when you don't have the proper styles. 18. We can check. Yeah, this is a paragraph, but it's bold. Okay. Then this is a 35, that's H3. This is a bold, paragraph, strong. Okay, and we actually need to wrap this one. Let me just do it like this. Let's add div twice, and then let's add it inside. Perfect. This is a 26, that's H5. And then inside you will have 3 images, and that's 1/3. Okay. It's actually easier if we do it like this. And then we have image 3 times. Okay. And then we have this one. Okay, this is H2, let's copy it. Okay, 18 bold, that's paragraph. This is then, okay. And then we have an image, and what is this? 22, it's H6. Actually, we can do it like this. Image A6. And then paragraph. Perfect, and let's just copy it 4 times. And this is actually 2 because it's 2. Okay, perfect. And let's see how we are going to solve this one. Let's first copy this one. And place it as H2. And then we need a paragraph. Okay, let's see this one. can actually have a this one can have a class of card. And the card will have the image. This is a plain text and number 30. Let's check the typography. It's H4. Okay. So let's do that. Image H4 marketing, and then let's copy it a couple of times. I can place the empty one, so it 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is one extra actually. And let's now check the Tailwind documentation. So we need a column span 2. Let's see how that works. Perfect. So we got our, and we can get away by adding the empty div, or we can offset this one. Let's just check. Offset, or is it under span? Let's just see. I think the easiest one can be to actually just add empty one. So we don't deal with this one. Perfect. Then let's add this one. And after this, we can just move to the Oxygen as well. Okay. So this is a H2. This is a regular paragraph. And then this is a price box. Okay, and inside the price box, what we have here, this is a paragraph, we can call it small. And then this is, let me just check, H4. Then we can do a span inside. So what you can do is you can wrap in a div like this, or you can get with writing a span inside as well, but I think the Oxygen may have some problems with it, so this can be the easiest solution. This is also text small per month. Okay, and then we have the list. Let me just check what's happening here. Okay, we added a div, that's why it's this one. Okay, perfect, and we can just copy the price box. I like to have a little space here so it's clear what is what. Okay, we are now pretty happy with the setup that we got for the structure, and let's now copy the CSS settings to the global and replace this one. And what we can do is we can just copy and we can paste this one. Perfect. We probably need to save it and reload it so the Winden can fetch what we pasted here as well. And just to remind you, yeah, one more time, I still prefer to have to edit the settings from the visual code because I have a little more space there. And we are going to improve that one in the future design. But let's now jump here, and what we need here, we need a link wrapper. And then let's do it like this, and then we need to add image. Okay, for the image we need a logo. Where is the logo? We forgot to upload it. Never mind, let's do it quickly. Winden tutorials, assets. Okay, let's just open that one. Don't forget to compress it. And I can just throw it here. Perfect. Here we need to add the form, but we will do that later on because that's for the Fluent form, and we still didn't come to that part. Okay, let's start adding things. Perfect. And we can now remove this helper because we have it in the Oxygen as well, like you can see. Let's reload it. Okay, here we already have the images, as you can see. Let me show you. So here we added the empty ones, and that was converted right away to the images. So we don't care actually about the order. We can do it like this. And then we can just double check it's just like Microsoft Facebook. Oh, perfect. Okay. I done something here, but it's lorem ipsum anyway. Okay. And here are the, let me just check. It's this one. And then it's this one, this and this. Perfect. Oops. Okay, we can now even replace this one. Art and design. Okay, what's next? Coding. The next one is music, and then the business. Music. I always prefer to copy because my writing skills are terrible and you can easily make a mistake. Perfect. Let's pause the video, take a coffee break and come back. Okay, we have enough content to kind of see what's happening, but the typography is definitely off. And what we have here is a typography preview or the typography calculator. Let me show you what I done here. I created a shortcode, and in that one you have all the Tailwind font sizes, and also I have some small script that's calculating typography, and let me show you what it does. So if I go here, what you can see here, this is all the font sizes that we set up, and also it's going to calculate everything in pixels. So if we jump here, you remember the previous tutorial where we set up the fluid typography, and you can set it in pixels, or you can set it in M or RAM, whatever you set up. It's going to calculate you the font size in pixels, because when you get the design, usually it's going to be in pixels, and you need to kind of see right away which font, which Tailwind size to the desired font you need to set up. Let's now jump to the global CSS, because we want to set the typography as global. And what I usually do as in previous tutorial. Apply, and then let's check. H1 is 50, so let's see what we have. This is the one that we need, and let's just jump to the preview. It's going to be faster to load. Yes, you can see that H1 is set up. Let's then do that for the H2. We can do right away for the 3 and 4. Okay, let's. Perfect. What you can see is we are getting there right away. Okay. Let's do the 5 and 6 right away. 5 and 6. So let's check. We can close this one. It's going 3. This is wrong because F shouldn't be there. XL, and then this is large. Okay, I'm going to update the code snippet as well, so nobody copy this one. Perfect. If you, yeah, that's it. Let's compare with the sketch to see what's happening there. Sorry, we can do it like this. Okay, we are getting there. What we can do here is start applying the custom fonts now, and also for the H2 we need to apply the left border as well. Okay, so H2 border left, border black. Just check the width of this one. Okay, so this one is with 5. Let's check this one, how it looks like. Perfect, and we need some padding as well, so it's going to be padding left, and then let's do it like this. Awesome. And let's check what's happening here. Border it should be like this. Yeah, perfect. Now you're getting there. Let's now apply the custom font as well. For the custom typography, we have a title, and then what we need to add is font, that's font family, and then title. Let's see if that's working. Yeah, perfect. And then we need to add that one for the H2 as well. Okay, let's see what else we have to do. Maybe need to play with the font weights. Yes. Yeah, the H3 is bold. Let's just check in the documentation how to bold it. That's font, typography, font weight. So it's just font bold. Okay, can be simpler than this one. We can close this one because we set up the sizes. Perfect. And then this one actually. Okay, this one. Okay, this one should be bold as well. And then the F5, it's not bold, but we can bold it with adding strong tag. Yeah, this is a medium, sorry for that one. H5, second 22, okay, that's H6 is a medium. Font medium. Perfect. Awesome. Then we need to set up the gap as well. We forgot to do that. Let's just check. Okay. It's 40. And what we need to do is we can add gap. Let's just check. Yeah, it's 10. Let's add gap here and it's gap here. Okay. And we can see the pattern that H2 needs to have the bottom margin. Margin bottom. Let's check. Let's actually check what's the margin bottom. It's 25. Okay. This is perfect. And also this one should have some as well. Cool. Awesome, we are getting there. So what we can do is we can go to the Oxygen. We can apply some styles here as well that are not reused. Just a second. This is 22. We need to add some here and here. Okay. And this one can be, yeah, double. remove the doubles. That's 10. This is okay. And let's do it like this. And now we can reload this one. Let's quickly reload this one as well, and we can see what we are getting there. Okay, we can add class to this one, custom class. That's we can add box icon. Box icon. Let's just add it here, here, and here. Save. And then box icon. Apply. Margin bottom. Like this. Okay, that's it. You can actually add 4. Let it breathe a little. Okay, this one needs to have small text here as well. We missed that one. Yeah, that's actually a paragraph, I think. So add text, also featured in. Okay, margin bottom, let's add like this. Okay, we fix that one. So what we can see that the body is much lighter. So what we can do is in the typography, let's add the body, apply, then that's text gray. Okay, and then what we can do is H1, H2, H3, H1. Apply black. Let's see how this, not that one, let's see how this looks like. This one can be a little lighter actually, so we can go with 500. Yeah. So let's see. Does this needs to be bold? Yeah, and this one needs to have some maximum width, as you can see. What we can do with this one, we can actually get away with this. This doesn't need to have a div. Then max width. Just a second, let me check the documentation. Max width. Okay. So max width MD. What are the sizes? Okay, let's try with this one actually. No, doesn't work. Let's check what's happening here. IMAX. If we convert this to pixels, no. Let's go to computed. Max width 300. Let's strong. I think I see what's happening here. The tag shouldn't be strong. Yeah, this was the problem. Perfect. Let's apply that to this one as well, and I think, yeah, this one. And it needs to be like this. Perfect. Okay, let's see. This one have too much space. That's just to see. That is H3. H3 have too much. Yeah, let's go to 4. Even this looks too much. Margin bottom. Okay, maybe just 2. Let's play with that. Much better, and also we need to add a color brand. So what we can do is we can create a class, text brand, and then apply. Actually, we don't need to do it because that's so simple. And if we, in case we need to change the brand, we will going to do it globally anyway. So what we want to do is text brand 500, same here. And why I didn't create the class, because this is literally same as the class, because if we change the brand color, we're going to change those numbers, and it's going to be globally anyway. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Yeah, let's create these cards. Okay, we already have a card, and what we will do is we are going to the global. Okay, this is a card, and we are going to apply white. Then we need to have a shadow, I think. Let me just check the design. We're too much in. Okay. Now there is no shadow, but there is a border radius. Okay. I actually don't know how to edit. That's border radius. Let's check the sizes. I can get away with around it. It's actually 8, and that's rounded large. Okay, and then text should be gray 500, and then we have inside we have this is a H4. Okay, so we are going to target the H4, and this is going to be text black. Let's see. Awesome. Just a second to see why this is not. Target this one as well. Okay, let's do it like this. And then this is paragraph. This is gray 500. Let's see now. Yeah, perfect. And we need to add some padding there as well. Let's 24. It's padding. Where is 24? Perfect. Awesome. Let's check the responsiveness. Okay, and this one can be actually hidden by the default. So if we go to empty one, let's display none. No, that's not the flex, that's the visibility, or how it's called. Display, let's check for the none. That's hidden. Okay, let's hide this one. What did I do? Hidden, where is it hidden? Yeah, hidden. Let's check what's happening here. Yeah, it's hidden. And then on the medium is going to be is there a block? I actually never used this one. Flex. Yeah, there is a block. Perfect. So what we can see here, it's showing on the larger one, but then when we switch, it's going to be hidden. Awesome. Okay, and then this one needs to have the maximum width as well. We can get away by doing this. And then what was the, yeah. Excellent. We'll just preview it. Awesome. So this is done, this is done. This one will be done on the end. We need to add some top and okay, that's, and actually we can rename this as a header, and let's add some padding there. Awesome. Yeah, let's just check. Yeah, everything is responsive, working perfect. Pricing, let's check the pricing, how it looks like. Okay, this is going to be a price box. And just a second to see border. What's the color of this one? Border color. Is this brand? Yeah, that's brand. But I think that this one is black. So let's just check. H2 border color. Yeah, this is actually a black. Let's see what we done wrong here. Yeah, we actually call it black instead of brand. Okay, awesome, we are getting there. This is 1/3. It is, but we can add a maximum width here as well. So maximum width. And since we're actually adding here some maximum width couple of times, so this can be actually a class subtitle, apply, and then maximum width. Let's copy the class and let's do it like this. Okay, perfect. And this one, you don't see it right away because we wrote it here and then it's not, the Oxygen didn't saw the changes. So let's just reload it. Yeah. Oops, this is we didn't change it here. Okay, now let's check. Okay, this is a card. Let's call it price card and price card. A box, sorry. Yeah, we can price card and let's change it to price card. Save, then we can add price card. We actually don't need the text because the text didn't impact or change, it was only in this one. We need a shadow here. I think the base shadow will work. Maybe bigger one. Let me just check. Yeah, we need a little bigger one. So let's just check for the shadow. Okay, medium. Yeah, we need a little bigger one, so this one should actually work. Drop shadow, is there any shadow? If I just shadow, box shadow. Okay, let's use shadow large or shadow medium. Let's try with large. Let's go crazy with the shadow. Okay, I enabled this quick debug, and what I'm noticing that the logo types are not correct because they have the equal cells, but that shouldn't be the case. Let's fix that one. So if we go to the logo types, let's check this one should not be grid, it should be flex. So let's flex wrap and then gap. Perfect. So you can see that every time if something doesn't fit, you should just not ignore it, you should be fixing it right away. And also when you see the design, you can see the pattern that all those have the same paddings and same shadow. So let's just reuse that one. So we can actually create a card. And do it like this. We can call this card brand. And then we can remove this one. Okay. And shadow large. Okay, let's now reload it, and yeah, there is no shadow. Let's check what's this. Price card. Yes, we can remove the price card. Let's place this one here. Okay, so now it's much cleaner and we're reusing more. So price card, this is only a card, then this is a card, let's see, where is this? Yes, okay, then this is a card, perfect. Let's remove the debugging, and this one needs to be okay. Let's now check what's happening here. We have okay, the background should be white. Yeah, that's it. And this one needs to have the card brand added. Just a second, this don't need rounded, we are using that. Perfect. Let's then fix car brand, card brand and card brand. Awesome. Price code. Let's just check. Shadow. Okay. And I think we need to reload the Oxygen here so it can fetch the latest changes. Okay, let's check this one. We wanted all the colors be brand. So what we can do here is target everything. Text brand 500. Okay, same, not here, it needs to be one up. So since we have only two, we don't need to actually create the class. We can get away with this one. Okay. Just a second to see what's happening here. We can wrap this one in a div. Yes, and then it's flex. This one can be small margin top 2, margin left 4. Okay, let's just check the opacity. Opacity, changing the opacity. Okay, that's 50. We can close those. Opacity 50. Okay, let's duplicate this one and place it here. We can get away with this. Okay. Actually, what we can do here is just a second. Margin 0. Okay. And then this one can be, just a second to see what's the best way to do this. Okay, and then if we, just a second, let's check here. So if we reload it, and then we will have the flags if you align it. Okay, this is much better. Align it, items, items. Yeah, this is items and. Okay, so this should be a flex. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, we fixed that one. Let's just duplicate it and move it here. We can remove this one and change the price. Okay. And I think, yeah, we need some space here. So margin bottom 4 is okay. And then on this one, we can add 4. Okay. That's perfect. And then CTA primary, Let's create the class. Let's apply it here. So I think we register, yeah, that's action. Apply background action and then text white. It needs to have some roundness as well. Okay. And width full. This should be it. Nope. So what we need to do is we need to add important. Yes, then let's see why. Okay, since that's a link, it should be a block. Yeah, that's it. Then some margin, margin top. Let's use 4 again. And we need some padding there as well. Can do it on all sizes. Okay, and we need text align. Text. Okay, text center or center. Does the typography is okay? 16. That's actually even smaller, but I think the CTA should have at least same as paragraph, so let's keep it like that. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, we have some bigger margin there, so let's try with the 8 at least. No, sorry, not the padding, the margin. Probably everyone who was looking at this was screaming at me already, but mistakes are happening. We can do the badge here as well. Let's do it quickly. Popular. Oh no, it's this one. And the easiest is to just wrap it, and then let's just add the text. No, the content is popular, and this should be a flex. And then let's just check justify contents should be justify between. Yes, awesome. And then I think should be good. Text white. Okay. And then what was the second here? Items, it should be item center. Center. No. Just text white. Let's just fix this one first. Rounded LG. I think the full, and then epsilon should be 0, and then this can be like this. Okay, this is perfect. So flex start. Now justify align items. Okay, items start. Awesome. And we finished this part as well. Actually, this one can be a smaller text. Let's just add text small. Do we even have that in the typography? No, that's text small. Apply, and let's check the typography preview. This is why it's good to have it. Text base, fluid text small. Okay, this is going to cover it. Not this one. Just a second. Did you apply? No, it needs to reload. Let's reload this one as well. Perfect. This is small. Let's just quickly fix this one because it bugs me a lot. Member margin top. This should be it, and then let's see what else we can do. Yes, let's now continue with the testimonials. So here we need a section. Okay, let's change it to section. Okay, then we are adding div, and it's container, and inside we actually need one more container. Yes, and it's in this one we are adding a title, content, this is going to be h2, and then this one is going to be, let me just check, I actually forgot, so it's container, yeah, that's the class that we need. And inside we are adding a card, and in that, just a second, in that card we need a image, we need a name, and this is a website, and then paragraph below. So what we will do is inside the card, this is container, this is a card. Yes, inside we are adding div, and let's add one more div. Okay, in this one, this is going to add an image. Okay, I'm just quickly loading the Unsplash image here until we don't upload the new one. And what you can see here in the documentation, the Tailwind also support the object fit, and we will use the object fill. Okay. And then after the image, we are going to add the headline. Okay. This can be age. Just check. 18. This is actually a paragraph. Or we can use the age 6. Yeah, and then let's add the text. This is really small one. That's okay. I didn't actually even define that one, but let's do it like this. And then text x small. Perfect. So this one is going to be a flex. A second to check this one. Align items. This is going to be item center. Okay. This one should have margin 0. Is this okay? This is 0. And then we should have some gap here. And that's it. Sorry, and yeah. Rounded full. And I actually didn't add any class here, because usually if you have the testimonials, you will have in some kind of the repeater, so you can you can actually use the Oxygen repeater from the custom post, or maybe SFE or Metabox repeater as well. So I don't want to bother creating classes for this one. Okay, and then we actually don't need a div here. We can get away with just text. Yes, and then on this one we need margin bottom 4. Perfect. And this is a card, and then this is a testimonial card. And here is why I'm going to add a class, because we need to add those. And in the previous, you can see that for the cards we created, so we can reuse that one at least. So let's no, duplicate this one. And for this one, we actually want to have some margin bottom. Is this too much? No, it's not, because we have this part. Let's save it. We actually made one mistake, and that's the card should be first. So let's just switch this one. It should be testimonial. Actually, card testimonial. And then in this one, let's do it like this. Okay, let's save it. Let's do it like this. So we need to apply relative here, and then this before. Let's do the content block with 10, high, let's do 10, background, let's just test if this one is working, and then we need absolute position, top 0, and then let's do the left 0 as well, just for the testing purposes. Okay, let's do it this, reload. Okay, we actually got that one, and let's do then that's before, then after. It should be bottom and then right. Okay, yeah, let's now check the design. Okay, so this one is okay, and it's so this one should be a left 4, then a right 4, and then for minus you add it here, and it should be -5 minus 5. Excellent. So we get what we want, and then we just need to replace the image here as well, and okay, I think we uploaded this image. So if you go here, media, yes, copy URL, and then let's do the background image. How do I add the background image? I totally forgot, I didn't use it for ages. CSS background image, this is funny. Okay, actually I don't want background image, I want just the background. Let me show you why. So background URL, no, is it like this, and then it should be center. I just check that this works. Okay, yeah, no, then no repeat as well, no repeat. Awesome. Let's do this one because we're using the same, and that's actually it. Okay, so we are almost there. We need to do the form, and then we need to do this one as well. So sorry for jumping like this. So okay, this is H1. I can actually remove this one. Yes. Container. This section. Okay. Then div, duplicate div. Here is the h1 text content, and there is a text as well. Okay, text, and we were using something subtitle. Yes, this is going to be a subtitle. Okay, and what else? Yes, we need a container column too. Perfect. Just to see if we are missing something, we can add those later on. And let's start with the form. So for the form, we have a title. This is some info text. And then we have a couple of fields. So if you jump to the Fluent, for this we are going to use the Fluent form. And let's just do this one. So what we have here, full name. And if we set up this, so you can disable this one. And then the trick is to change this one to full name. Perfect. Email address, then this is I don't want to go into too much details. Just a second, I can just it's a placeholder. How do you remove the... Okay, if we remove this, okay, perfect. So we just need to validate. I'm actually not sure how to remove those on the top. I never done that, but this is outside of the scope. Default no style, center, and we need to have this class. The class is called to action primary. Okay, save form, and then here what we actually going to do is we are going to add it as a shortcode. Sorry. Perfect. And actually we are going to wrap it one more time, and I'm going to explain you why, because you want to add max width. What was the max width? Just a second. Not here, here. Max width, that's definitely not this one. Maybe the second Tailwind. Docs, accidentally closed this one. Max width, let's see what sizes do we have here. Always forgot. Yeah, small should be fine. Yes, and then is this one? Yeah. And there should be card, and inside that card we have the this, and this heading is become a member. and it's sorry, this one, it's H3, and let's see what we have here. Okay, that's the text. Oops. Okay, and then we have some margin there. Margin bottom 4. And this one is text brand 500. Perfect. And what you can see here is we disable the button inside the form, and we were using the class that we already created. So we actually removed the Fluent Form class and added ours, so we didn't need to do any overrides or anything else. Awesome. And just one more thing. So since okay, this is column 1, column 2, yeah. Since we are reusing this one, let's just make it reusable. Form form, duplicate, bring it to the top. So if we jump up, we need to drag it here. Awesome, here it is. And let's just fix those small parts. Actually, we have this below, so I can do it like this and drag it below the form. Yeah, a form. Okay. Awesome. Let's check does the filter. Okay. Now, we can use the invert. Let's just play with that a little. And that's not the invert. We need it full white. So what does we have here? Invert. Yeah, we need to increase the contrast. Okay, let's try invert and then contrast. Okay, perfect. We made it. That's it. Let's check what we have here. So here we have this. That's here boxes. Okay. Winden, tutorials, assets. Here are boxes. Don't forget to optimize 50% down. This is why we do it. Okay, so we can add the image here. Yes, with the shortcut it's easier. Definitely. Here are boxes. And then this one is relative. And then this one is absolute. Just a second, is this okay? absolute bottom 0. Yes. We need the index. The index, yeah. 0. Okay, let's do minus on this one. I think it's easier. Perfect. Let's check the. Okay, we're almost done. We need a big one. Huh? So, what I actually prefer to do is, let's, since I think this and this are the same, let's export it. Or that square is just too simple to be the SVG. We can get away with creating just a div. Let's add a div, and we can do it in header relative, and then this can be background brand 500. Width can be, let's check what we have for the width. Width, height. You can actually do the custom as well. Yeah, let's do that. Width 800 pixels, yeah, and then let's do the height as well. Okay, then rounded LG. Okay, rounded LG, or we can do the, now we need bigger. Yes, and then we need a rotate. Yeah, rotate. Those are the basic ones. I think we need that. I think that we need a 25 instead. And is it? Yeah. Absolute. Maybe, just maybe, it's going to be easier if we do it here. And then let's check what we have. I actually don't have a clue. So if we do like this, minus 50%, this is actually it. And then we need yeah, minus the index 50 was this, the index. Okay, and we managed to do it. Let's check with the design. Is 25? Yes, it was 25. And the good thing is, since we do this as a relative, so it's relative to this one, it doesn't go too much on this one. Okay, and then let's just do the bottom part as well. Okay, so let's duplicate this one, move it here. Yeah, let's check what's happening. Yeah, we need a relative here, a relative here. Okay, let's just play with the values here. It's bottom 50 and left. Let's do 50 as well, and we can do bottom like this. Okay, and actually I think that we mess up this one as well. It should be rotate. Is this correct? Yeah, instead of minus should be just 25. Okay, we have a small issue here. We're going to fix it. This is perfect. And then I think that we need to add overflow on this one. If we hide, yeah, we need overflow, definitely. Overflow. Okay, overflow. Yeah, hidden. And that needs to be on the last section. Yeah. Let's just check what's happening here. Is this too much? No. But what we can do is margin bottom 0. And that's actually padding bottom 0. Oops, padding bottom 0, yes. That's it. So, okay, perfect. Yes, we still need to fix this one a little. So let's just check what's happening here. That's the image. We can do bottom minus 20%. If we compare the design, oops, it should be a little up. Or no, that's more or less. It should be a little more. Like this. Okay. And I think then the form should be just a little smaller. Let's check what's the value here. 400. Yeah, this is a weird number, but let's just go with something similar. If we do X small, Let's do it like this, and then check that we are getting. This is too much. Let's just add some. Let's check what's good. I think also that this one, yeah, should be H4. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, and then if we check the max width, 24 RAM. Okay, let's go with that. 24 RAM. Oops. Perfect. Excellent, and this is more or less it. We can start adding the elements here as well, but by now you already learned how to add them. So let's just jump to the mobile view quickly and see. Almost everything is perfect. Let's just fix a couple of things, and that's we can remove actually this one, and we can get away with fixing this one as well. So what we can do is we can delete this one, and we can lighten up this one because this is a div, and we can get away by doing that. So this one is going to be hidden, and then this is going to be a block, and this one is going to be like this, and we can do it like this. So let's just check what we got here. Awesome. Yeah, but you can see that now it's light, everything is readable, and we don't need that pattern on the mobile because we want to introduce the form right away. And here you can see that it's perfectly making a huge contrast, and that's it. So hopefully everyone enjoyed in this full page course for the Tailwind and Winden. This is done in Oxygen, but this can be done in Bricks or the Gutenberg as well with the same principles, because what we done, we focus on the creating the custom typography in Tailwind, then uploading the assets, applying the assets. This was done with the shortcode, so everything can literally be applied in other builders as well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, because we are going to definitely create more of them. And goodbye from the DPlugins team.